Hi guys, I just wanted to do a little video on, because a few people have asked me, on selecting an instrument basically. Some people who are not experienced players yet are not sure what to look for when they buy an instrument, so I wanted to just give you a few tips and pointers on this. Basically, one thing that I always look for, the first point, is I check the neck. If I go into a shop and ask for a bass, I ask to test one, I will ask them to try and put the action down to 1.5 millimeters. First of all, to test if the bass can actually handle that. The shop staff should be able to do that in a matter of minutes, and they should be able to hand you the bass ready to test. And what I would do is then just test and see how that feels and look for buzz. So one thing to do when you test the bass in a shop is first of all just play all the low frets. And just go through them one fret at a time, and just listen out for any buzz, or like this one has no buzz at all, and I've got this down to 1.5, how I like it. So if it passes that test, you also want to test further up the neck as well. Not that you're going to be using these higher notes very much, but just to see consistency on the neck. This one has a very, very good consistent neck and fretboard. As you could hear, there's no buzz or rattle on any of the strings all the way up the neck, which is a very good sign. There are also no dead notes. What you want to do to test for dead notes is play the notes and see how long they will sustain for. Some notes are not going to sustain as long as others because the construction of the bass and the neck will absorb the frequency of that note quicker than it will others. And that's why some basses are badly designed and they have points which are dead, where a note will die very quickly. On this bass, I think the note that dies quickest is here, which is, that's a C sharp. It's fine on the A string, but when I play the C sharp on the G string, it doesn't sustain all that long. That's simply to do, every bass has this issue. So if it dies very, very quickly, like after a second or something, then that's not so good, and you probably want to steer clear of that bass. But here the C is okay, the D is okay, D sharp. So it's really only the C sharp on this instrument that has a shorter resonance than the others. Everything else seems to be fine. If I play C sharp on the A string though, that's fine. You might ask, why is that? Why does C sharp on the A string resonate for longer than C sharp on the G string? The reason for that is because of the thickness of the string and the speed that it vibrates at. So it's not a big deal. I mean, this is perfectly, for me, that's perfectly acceptable. I don't have a problem with that at all, and that's the only note that is slightly short. All the others are fine. So that's another thing to test for. Other thing is intonation. do all the harmonics, match the fretted notes on the 12th fret. If you have a 24 fret bass, you can do the same thing for the 24th fret. The 24th fret is very rarely that accurate. 12th fret should be accurate though. And if it's not, ask the guys in the shop to set the intonation properly. Because you want to test this bass out, you want to make sure that it is ready and that it is going to work. So, and it should only take them a few minutes to set the intonation. And if, you know, the shop techs should be familiar with how to do this. If they're not, then the shop is obviously not such a good shop to buy at. But anyway, some shops, you know, that's a matter for their management and for their staff and training and everything. But really, the shop tech should be able to set the intonation and the action so you can test it properly, right? I've been into some shops where they haven't set the basses up properly, and I've asked them to set them up, and they don't know what they're doing. But I've also, on the other hand, I've also been into some shops where they're extremely good at what they do, and you know, I would, if I had the money to spend, I would ask them to set all my basses up, because they're probably a bit better than me. But anyway, when you buy a bass, you're going to get it set up the way you want it, basically. Especially if you buy from a shop, the physical shop that you can actually enter and try the instruments in. So those are the main things on the neck.